Join me. Together we can rule the galaxy far and south.
I am a Jedi, like my father before me.
This is getting out of hand. Now there are two of them.
Hello there, Space Wizards, Plastic Spacemen, and Rebel Princesses. This is Todd Hoffman and Trent Hoffman. You listen to Big T and Little T, a Star Wars podcast. Welcome to episode 191. Today we're going to be looking at Wild Robot and looking at some wild droids in Star Wars. Unfortunately, Little T can't join me, but he is here in Jedi Force Spirit. And we might hear from him a little bit. We'll see. But basically, if this is your first time joining us, welcome. If you're a longtime listener, thanks for hanging out. But it's International Podcast Day. So that is pretty cool. So that comes on September 30th. So if you're listening to this fresh, awesome. If you missed it, it's okay. I just found out like the 29th is International Coffee Day. Like there's so many different days. I want a day for myself as well. But you know, it's still kind of fun. I'm going to pull up International Podcast Day. It's September 30th again. The purpose of International Podcast Day is September 30th is International Celebration of the Power of Podcasts. The celebration is a great opportunity to connect with fellow podcasters, podcast listeners, podcast enthusiasts, and leaders in the podcasting industry. Help spread the word by telling your friends, share the celebration of your podcast on social media feeds using hashtag International Podcast Day. There are several ways to get involved and plenty of ways to benefit from taking part in International Podcast Day. So see our suggestions below. But first, we must start all our conversation to share the power of the podcast. Hey man, it's pretty cool. I'm down with it. I like podcasting, and obviously we had to do a little podcasting. But yeah, it's super, super fun, and it's great, and we like podcasting. So if you're our first time listener, great. If you're a long time listener, we love you. Keep it up, man. Spread the word, all that fun stuff. And check out more podcasts I think the fun thing about podcasting is like there's so much information out there, and you just so many different niches, and just I'm sure there's a lot of nicks that podcast do, but niches out there that you can take a listen, expand your knowledge, expand your world a little bit. I think that's super, super fun. Playing Days of the Doom, which is like a little mini thing for Fortnite. Fortnite Nightmares is coming, which is a Halloween theme, and supposedly it's going to be really good because last year was kind of a dud. Happy anniversary to my wife Jen. We celebrated on the 29th here, and 23 years. So love you. Thank you so much, Jen, for supporting me in this crazy habit like podcasting. So that's super, super cool. It's just a blessing from God. It's so awesome. And we've been through a lot, and it's refreshing to continue to live life with her and, just, do life, and it's great. And, there's always good days and bad days, but at the end of the day, it has been such a rewarding experience, and can't wait to do 23 more years, which is just kind of crazy to think about. I'm trying to think of anything else really crazy. We had a good weekend. Went to Pepe's and had some tacos on Friday, and then put up all the Halloween decorations on Saturday, and we went out for our anniversary and celebrated with my oldest son, Jordan, and his girlfriend, Katya, and we had a great time, and got to hang out with them, which was cool. And then Sunday, we went to see the Wild Robot here, and Bears won. Bears. So that was good, because I was about ready to have a heart attack, and if they went 1-3, I was like, oh boy. Okay, so this got me thinking, the Wild War Robot. It came out. It's a science fiction survival film, and it's based on a book series called with Peter Brown, and DreamWorks Animation did it. It's distributed by Universal Pictures. It's written and directed by Chris Sanders, and it's got some Star Wars alum. Lupita is in there. Pedro's in there. Mark Hamill's in there. There's quite a few of Star Wars alum, and basically the premise is a robot is shipwrecked on an uninhibited island and must adapt to her surroundings, build a relationship with the local wildlife to become the adopted mother of an orphan goose. So basically, the simplest story, it's a robot and a goose. Man, this was really, really good. The animation's so good. It kind of looks like hand painted, and it's super, super fun. So it premiered at the Toronto International Film Festival on September 8th, and it was released just here on September 27th. The film received critical acclaim, and has grossed. It's probably going to gross like 30 mil. Probably win this weekend. The budget's 78 mil, so it's still got to make it back. But I would highly recommend this movie. I'm not going to give away any details. Maybe you read the book, you already know the end. But yeah, it's super, super good and super emotional. I was like crying and stuff, and yeah, it's great. It's a great family film, and it's kind of cool. It's kind of like, yeah, it's like Baymax meets the wilderness. It's super fun. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really well acted, and oh man, the animation's so good, and it's great. And Pedro's are in there, and yeah, it's just so good, so good. But yeah, so I think Trent and I would definitely give this 10 T's. We had a really good time. The whole family went. It was great, and we were able to just, I love going to movies, popcorn, pop, hanging out. After a Bears victory, it was really good, really good. So, but yeah, I would say give it 10 T's for the Wild Robot. It's really good. And then Jen ordered the books, so we're gonna start reading the books here. So it's always good to connect things visually in that form, but then I think it's fun reading books and stuff like that, and just getting to know a little bit more that might not be in the particular. What can I say? Like there's a lot of details in books that sometimes are not in the movies and that kind of thing. So that's super, super cool. Okay. So this got me thinking, all right, we got a lot of droids. And so I'm taking some of the stuff. Now again, this is coming from the source, StarWars.com, the 20 of the Star Wars galaxy's greatest droids. I don't know if this is in any particular order, but C-3PO, the Goldenrod himself. They say number one. I don't know if this is if he's the top droid. I would argue he's not, but he's definitely one of the most humanoid, and he's our little warrior. I just love him. He's great. Of course, our Spunky Plunky, you know him, you love him. Our blue droid, R2D2. The boops and the beeps that Ben Burt did. Again, WALL-E's another classic film, and that's by Ben Burt. And basically, Ben's like, I want to make my own robot movie, and that's Pixar's R2D2. I mean, Ben Burt did all the stuff for WALL-E. It's great. R5D4. Now, R5D4 is the one that blew its motivator. The whole motivator blew at Lars Homestead, which basically, I think this is Skippy, the Jedi droid. I mean, there's some shenanigans, like he had some Force stuff and all this kind of stuff. I believe that's in the certain point of view thing, but yeah, he's the red one. So, Yeah, and then R5 story continued in the red one from Anthology from a certain point of view, and then we've seen in Peli Moto's hangar in a few episodes of The Mandalorian. Okay, here's the next one. Now, so those three are pretty recognizable. AP5. AP5 is an Imperial inventory droid who was defected in the rebellion in Star Wars Rebels. It says here, AP5's voice performance by Steven Stanton has inspired by fellow actor Alan Rickman. Also, his name comes from Rebel producer Athena Yvette Portillo. I love it. I see AP. Very nice. Okay. Ooh, number 5, BD1. So if you have played the video game of Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order or Jedi Survivor, BD1 is, I think when I remember this, it is a cross between Woodstock and Snoopy. And he's just the cutest little thing, and I love him so much. And he helps you open chests and scan objects and healing stems and helps Cal continue his journey. Okay, number 6, C1-10P, also known as Chopper. Chopper is the cat of Star Wars. He is the cat droid of Star Wars. I just love him. And again, the variety sounds are performed by series creator Dave Filoni. Rave around his numerous instruments. Okay, well, who's writing these things? That's funny. But yeah, Chopper's great. Number 7, a very memorable moment, the mouse droid. MSE-6 series repair droids will probably get a lot of blank faces, but if you use the droid's more common name, the mouse droid, imagine a tiny tank like roving droid running around as Chewbacca growls. Again, great scene, great use of characters. Okay. Mr. Bones. Now, Mr. Bones has a soft spot in many people's hearts because he never appeared on any films. He's a B-series battle droid that Temmin Snap Wexley in the Aftermath series by Chuck Wendig. He basically has like a blade arm and some bones tied to him in a fun little paint job, like almost like a Darth Maul-esque looking kind of paint job. Snap's great. Obviously Snap is featured in the 3 new trilogy movies. He is a pilot, but Mr. Bones loves violence and is great. Okay, now if I say Forlom, you're like, yep, I know that. So basically, Forlom is one of the Empire Strikes bounty hunters. He's got protocol droid body, but his head is more like an insect. And yeah, he's featured not very much in Empire Strikes Back, but if you want to get a little bit more of him, you can go to Star Wars Adventures and Bounty Hunters. He is featured in there for sure, which is great. Okay, our favorite nurse droid, IG-11, was featured in season 1. Originally programmed to assassinate our little baby Grogu, baby Yoda, but Mando got the jump on him. But then he came back because Quill reprogrammed him, and we love him. Oh, this is one of my favorite droids too. EV-9D9. Another one that doesn't really roll off, but he has such a cool voice. He's the cruel torture droid, or really, he's kind of the droid master or something. He's in Jabba's palace and turns, he basically runs a show and tortures droids, and we have a gonk droid that screams, which is fun. Okay, another astromech, R1J5 Bucket. R1J5 is, he's Jarek Yeager's claims he purchased them when he was racing then and was already had 100 years old. So in Star Wars, so he's featured in Star Wars Resistance and Bucket works as a mechanic droid helping Yeager and the rest of the team fireball on the Colossus. But he the cool thing about Bucket is he kind of wears a helmet usually, which is fun. Oh, our ball droid BB-8. We love him. He's round, cute, and he's basically the new version of R2-D2. And he helps Rey and Finn and Poe, and we love him. Oh, another one that's very soft in my heart. 2-1B. Again, you might not know him, but you love him. He's in Empire Strikes Back, and he is the B series medical droid, and he talks a little shop with Luke, and he's great. And it helps bring Luke back from the Bacta tank. Okay, another prominent one that's featured a lot is L3-37. She's the co-pilot in Millennium Falcon for Solo Star Wars Story. And then we kind of know basically that L3 is part of the Millennium Falcon, which is kind of cool. This is also another short story. Faith in the Old Friend is part of From a Certain Point of View from Empire Strikes Back. Oh, our favorite friends from Dr. Afrikama. You have 000, 000, and BT1. They're basically R2-D2 and C-3PO, but they like to kill people. So Dr. Afra frequently traveled with these two companions. And let's see here. Together they make quite the terrifying duo. They are fun. They like the torture. It's kind of funny. This one, number one in my heart. Love K2SO. Again, K2SO featured in Rogue One. K2, he's an Imperial security droid. And yeah, he sacrifices himself for the Rogue One, and it's so good. We love him. Our duck droid, D.O. He was kind of an abused droid, has some PTSD going on, but BB-8 saves him, and they love each other. And yeah, the Uchi of Bastoon. He says no thank you. Voiced by J.J. Abrams. You know the drill. Okay, CB-23, another Star Wars Resistant. Kaz's little droid. And so it's, again, he's fun. I guess this has, it says here in the little blurb, Carrie Beck, the Vice President of Animation and Live Action Development at Lucasfilm, was the inspiration of her name. Oh boy. Not Rex from Clone Wars, but Rex R-3X. He was in the Star Tours, and he got replaced, but that's okay. He now lives in Batoon at the Droid Depot or something. It says, after arriving at Batu, the owner of Droid Depot, Moombo, that is someone I don't know, reprogrammed Rex as DJ. So visitors at Oga's Cantina can now rock out to DJ Rex. Love Rex. He's awesome. He's a cool little droid. Fun little thing. And that was it. 20 just like that. Wow. We went through those pretty quick. There's some other droid. I almost want to riot here because, like, where is the Gonk droid? Like, oh, wow. The Gonk droid is not even StarWars.com. I'm a riot right now, man. Like, what is going on? The Gonk droid. The Gonk droid, basically, he's a walking battery. That is the Gonk. I gotta do this justice because I don't want to leave my Gonk out here. That sounds. Don't leave the Gonk out, man. Okay. So it's actually a GNK power droid, is what it is, and it just says Gonk. And there's quite a few that are featured in basically in, Star Wars. There's one in, Bad Batch. One featured Mandalorian. Oh, I just love them. Yeah, they're just so fun. I just can't believe. But the whole point is Gonk power droids were effectively power generators with legs and simple artificial intelligence so they could understand rudimentary commands. They were the most commonly found on underdeveloped worlds that did not have expensive power grid or mobile military operations. They often made a low honking noise that sounded like the word gonk, resulting in the nickname of gonk droids, or simply gonks. The form of droid speak was referred to as gonkian. I love Wikipedia. Thank you, Wikipedia, for all your lovely insight. But yeah, changing from top 20 to top 21, you gotta throw in the gonk droid, man. I'm sure there's others out there. So that is our question of the week here. So for Light It All Up, who is your favorite droid? Email us at bigtlittlepodcast@gmail.com, and you can be featured in the episode. Am I saying that right? Yes, I'm saying that right. Of course you can. Of course, we love all the emails, that you can send our way at Big T Little T Podcast. We actually had one here. Let me see if I can pull it up. I know I'm doing this on the fly, but that's what I do here. Okay, so this is coming from Chris Mazza, and we're going to probably have it on. He has his own podcast, Mazza Musings, and we just, he connected with us, and shout out to Chris. How you doing, man? Hopefully we can connect soon. So he commented on our Darth Vader episode. Darth Vader? Yes. James Earl Jones. So this is what he says. Hey guys, had a lot of fun listening to your James Earl Jones episode. I did one myself for my podcast. One of my favorite Vader lines that people forget a lot is, "He's as clumsy as he is stupid," when talking about Admiral Ozzel, and "We'd be delighted if you would join us," when Han and Leia and Chewie are captured at the dining room in Cloud City. I'm new to listening to you guys, so I'll be going back through some of your older stuff to get better acquainted. What are some of your favorite episodes? Chris Mazza. Thanks, Chris. We've been corresponding a little bit, so hopefully we can have you on the show here shortly. But thanks for that input, man. So be like Chris, man. Give us a little email, and we'll share that on the episode. And so, I do love Darth Vader. He's clumsy as he's stupid. He's talking to Veers, and he's like, he came out too short on the whole hyperspace, and warned the rebels that they're coming, which is so fun. But basically, that is a great line. And I love that dinner scene, because the fact that Boba Fett and Darth Vader really can't eat because of their mask, I think that's hilarious. There's Jeffrey Brown, who's a comic, and he's from Chicago, and he does a couple of different books. But yeah, he has that scene in there too. But I think it's comical. What are they talking about? He does I think at least one where he's referencing like them trying to have a conversation at the dinner table. I think that's just the funniest dinner in the world. But yes, I do really he's as clumsy as stupid. Vader has a lot of these fun, really direct things, and he's taking a dig, and it's funny because you could see a little Anakin in there, but it's on that darker side. I just think it's awesome. So again, email us who your favorite droid is, bigtlittlepodcast@gmail.com. And thanks again, Chris. Like I said, hopefully we can hook up soon. So, Space Wizards, Plastic Spacemen, and Rebel Princesses, thanks again for listening to another episode 191. Holy Crow. That's crazy. A Big T and Little T, a Star Wars podcast. You can find us on the socials, Big T, Little T podcast on Instagram, BLILT podcast on Twitter, twitch.tv/Big T, Little T on the old Twitch. Hey, we got stickers. We got some swag. We want to hear from you. So comment, tweet, rate us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. And again, email us at bigtlittlepodcast@gmail.com. We love to read a rating or a question on an upcoming episode. And like I said, we'll throw some swag in your face. On your face, I don't know, somewhere in your general direction, so hopefully next time, maybe we'll talk to Chris. I'm not sure, we'll figure it out, but we're getting, the countdown is happening with Skeleton Crew, so it's pretty much fun, and I can't wait to talk about that in upcoming weeks. So yeah, now you know how this goes. Truly wonderful the mind of the child is, and may the force be with you always. Bye.